Hey y'all, it's Erika from Wallace House Designs, and we're gonna have a craftathon today. We are painting a sunflower door hanger. I'm so excited. I love sunflowers and I love painting them because they are easy and fun and a great way to practice your set shading without getting overwhelmed. So if you want to hang with me as we paint this sunflower, then come on. We're going to go ahead and go full table because we only have an hour, because during Craftathon Day, we are trying to jam-pack everything into one tiny little spot. And I want to make sure that we get done with our full tutorial by the time it's time for the next person, which I believe is Kara. So Kara will be next. Let me just pull up my video so I can see your lovely comments as you hang with me today. All right. All the little tidbits that you have to do when you go live. Hey, Francis. Hey, Ashley. How are y'all doing? And Marie and Cindy and Anna and Catherine. How are y'all doing today? Making sure my volume is down low because the last thing I want to hear is my voice. Okay. Doodle-doo-doo-doo, retry. Why is it not wanting to show me my... Hold on. Let's back out completely. Facebook has been glitching. I don't get all my notifications. I wish Facebook would stop updating mess. Okay. Hey, Pam. How are you doing? Watching with no volume while laying down with the grandkids. Well, we're hoping that Raylan is taking a nap as we speak because we got a lot to do today. A lot. She probably won't get a nap because as soon as I get done here, we are headed out the door. So, all right. So let's go full table and paint our sunflower. Y'all ready? I really want to be able to see your comments, but it's not letting me. Let's go. Let me try it a different way. If y'all can just hang with it, won't take us very long at all. Won't take us very long at all. Oh, it's saying we have no internet. That's why. Oh, well, that sucks, doesn't it? Technical difficulties. I usually have Facebook already pulled up. Bet you have to turn Wi-Fi on. What happened? What slap happened? There it is. There's my internet. You would ask for. Now it's asking for a whatchamacallit. Y'all, this sucks. Oh, well. All right. Well, my girls are in the comments. And I will try and look. I just printed the template and going to cut it out today. Marie, I can't wait to see yours. Marie is always extra with hers. I do shading, but Marie does shading. Like, she does really good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with is we're going to start with our center. No, I'm lying. We're going to start with our petals. No, I'm lying there too. We're going to start with our leaves. I'm a fibber today. So we're going to use Hauser Light and Hauser Dark. Okay, those are the ones we're going to start with. We're going to start with light because I want my leaves to be light. I don't want them to be dark. I really do want them to be nice and bright because this is not a fall door hanger. This is a summer sunflower. Now y'all know sunflowers can be for summer and for fall. They're a really good one that kind of spans and connects the dots between summer and fall. So if you want one door hanger that kind of is versatile, we're just base coating. It's versatile. Making sure y'all, oh wait, you know what I can do? There we go. That's much better. I'm down here. Okay, perfect. Turn that around. Seeing as I don't have my replay, I may be in or out of the frame. I do apologize. I don't want y'all to have to wait any longer though. So we're just going to go ahead and get into the tutorial. I love a sunflower. They're fun to paint. They last. They have really good lifespan on the door. Because like I said, depending on how you paint it, you can really make this last all the way up till past Thanksgiving, really. Okay, so we have our light Hauser already on there. We're going to go ahead and do our second coat. I have my fan on so that it will hopefully dry a little bit faster without having to use the blow dryer. Y'all know me. I'm not a big fan of using the blow dryer live, but I will if I have to. And you don't need a lot of this Hauser Dark. You just need a little bit. So I just dirtied up the very tip of my brush. And I'm going to pick a side. I'm just going to kind of spruce up and throw some, like I said, there's a drop on my brush. Not much. Just picking up, there was very little in that bottle. We're just adding a little bit for visual interest. I have a dirty brush, which means I have a little bit. We did not rinse our brush off. We have a little bit of the original Hauser Light. Okay. And then we're just going to we're going to empty our brush out on the rest of the leaf. There we go. Leaves are the easiest thing, especially when they're this big and kind of a supporting role to the actual design itself. That sunflower, the petals of the sunflower are what really speak on this one. And you can paint just a sunflower. That's what's good about a sunflower. You do not have to put words. It does not have to be accompanied by anything else. Nothing has to assist it to get the message across. I love a good sunflower. Okay, totally done with these leaves. I'm gonna hit these two just a little bit more. I have a little bit of this Hauser Dark in my bottle, and I think they could use just a little bit more sprucing up. Making sure I keep a good bit of that original Hauser Light on my brush. And emptying my brush out in the center just to bring that Hauser Dark in a little bit, but not overpowering the light at all. There we go. Perfect. And put it to where you can see all the green at one time. There we go. Rinsing out my brush. I bought this new brush cleaner, and I cleaned all my brushes with it, and I'm really liking it. It has a grate at the bottom of it. It's a metal grate, and you just swish your brushes around it. I know there's some silicone ones out there, but I feel like the silicone ones don't really scrub well. This has like a chicken wire, really tight-knit chicken wire that sits in a dome at the bottom. I got it at Michael's. And I just kind of, I don't like scrub it like I'm scrubbing a stain out of the carpet. I just kind of rake it across and go around. It really does get a lot of the paint out. The true test will be when I have red on my brush, and we have to get red out of that. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull out my very favorite banana cream. When I went through all my paint this week, I found many, many bottles of banana cream, and then I went to Hobby Lobby this week, and guess what I found on the shelf? One lonely bottle of banana cream. I was so excited. So excited. I was like, oh man, this is a sign that the world is coming back to its old self again. Banana cream and Purple Cow is back on the shelf. Now, I did not see Purple Rain. Those are the three that I always grab whenever I go to the store. And Purple Rain was not there, but I asked the stock lady, and she said that it's not on her discontinue list, and I've seen the Deco Art discontinue list, and so far, none of my favorite paints are on that. So we are just going to go ahead and fully load our brush. All the fine artists out there, the people who actually, they paint right. Does that make sense? People cringe when they see me load my brush. People who are fine artists or do like landscapes and oils and canvas and make all the beautiful real life, still life kind of stuff, they cringe when they see me load my brush. Oh no, oh no. Got a little bit of that yellow in the... All right, I'm up on the chisel. Whenever I'm outlining to get close to the edge, I go up on the chisel, get a nice tight edge, and then I fill it in on the flat. And then that's coat number one on that petal. I am starting with the back petals. I can't see your comments, so if you're commenting and you're asking questions, go ahead and keep commenting them. But because my iPad decides it doesn't, I'm going to restart my iPad while we're sitting here waiting on things to dry. Let me do that. I don't even know how to do that, y'all. I go to general, right? This is how. Shut down. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, so we're just going to restart that iPad. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up on comments before the hour's up. Y'all keep asking them, though, because I definitely will go at the end after I'm done and go back and answer all your questions. Y'all, and if I have to link stuff, I'll link it. No big deal. No big deal. All right, so I'm just, yellow always needs a little extra help. So we will have to do at least a coat and a half. So I'm just laying a very nice, generous first coat. Nice little base coat. A banana cream. All right, let me get this restarted. Hopefully it'll connect to the Wi-Fi. I'm thinking it just lost connection. There we go. What I plan to do with this after I'm done painting it, I'm going to let it dry, add my glitter, and maybe also a monogram. I have a friend that really wants a sunflower, and I've been wanting to paint one for a while. And I told her the next one that I paint is hers, so probably going to add her family's monogram or her family's name. I love banana cream. Y'all, look how bright and summery. How pretty it is. Oh my gosh. I've actually had this thing cut out for a while thinking I'd get to paint it sooner. All right, let's put our coat in. Let's see. No, it still didn't connect to the Wi-Fi. That's right. I bet you my Wi-Fi's... I bet you after the storm, I just didn't notice it. We had a storm not long ago, the last couple days. And all of my devices run off of Wi-Fi, but they also have cell service running to them. So I bet you we've been running off a straight cell service and not Wi-Fi for any of our devices. That's no bueno. Because we use a lot. We use a lot. Did you hear that? Oh, the stress in my voice there. That was, oh, man. Let's not tell Mr. Wallace that. Let's not tell him that. He will stress out over the bill. Of course, I'm stressing a little bit thinking about it. All right. Sorry, y'all. I was concentrating on that edge. I was making sure I kept nice, clean lines up against all this hard work that we just did. We're almost done base coating. Where am I? There we go. Almost done base coating. We have 2 more petals, and then we can get back to the fun part. We're going to do some lazy shading and some actual wet on wet shading. It's going to be fun. I say that. I may like my lazy shading more and may not want to touch it. But when we get done, you need to look at the peach behind me. I was so proud of myself. It's usually a goal of mine to shade well enough that paint pens or liner brushes are not needed after I'm done. And usually when I'm live, if you've ever painted live, you know that it's not your best painting. On camera, it looks fine. But in real life, it looks like it was about to sneeze before they took the picture. Like, that's the only way I know how to describe it. Like, it's like mid-word. You know, whenever someone's taking a picture of you mid-word, like, you don't look horrible, but it's also not a picture that you're going to be like, oh, y'all, look at this picture of me. It's one that you're like, why did they put that up there? Why is that the one they picked to show? That's what my live painting ones look like in real life. It's mid-sneeze, mid-word, candid photo. Okay. It's okay. Not my best work. But the movie magic of it all, they usually look fine on camera. So y'all see everything kind of smoothed out. Looks like it has a filter on it. And that's nice. Okay, so there we go. We're going to start with these back petals. The way you can tell if it's a back petal is if say you follow this line and it becomes a cross line, like it bumps into another petal. If it doesn't make it all the way to the center, then it's not the one you want to start with. You want to start with the ones that are tucked into the back. We're going to pull Deco Art Marigold. Okay. We're going to have some fun with this one. So we have Banana Cream and Marigold. And I'm going to put 3/4 and 1/4. 3/4 Banana Cream, 1/4 Marigold. And I'm going to go ahead and just slap that on there, on the edge. And I'm emptying out my brush towards the center. Remember, we need a full second coat on this, so we're going to bring that towards the center. But we're going to start on the edge and bring it towards the center, and that will bring us our second coat. But it will also give us shading. See, I like the lazy shading. I'm probably not going to do some actual shading. Okay. But I'm continuously loading my brush exactly like 3/4, 1/4. And you just play with it till you're happy. And it's okay if you cross over into the petal next to it. Remember, we're going to do the same thing with it, but we want to make sure we do all these back petals first. We don't want to blend it completely together to where we don't see each color. Let me see if I can get it up close and personal. Y'all see that? See how it's just kind of haphazardly thrown in there, but you can see the shape of the petal because I'm being very, very cautious about the way I'm moving my brush. Let's work on another one. This one's going to be hard. This one right here is going to be hard because it is tucked into that leaf. So we got to be very careful. Okay, 1/4, 3/4. In fact, I'm going to start here and work my way down. Start my way here, work my way down. I was up on the chisel, and now I'm going to bring it in. And then I just clean up the center. And I just make sure that every little part of that petal gets touched. There we go. The good thing about sunflower, if you don't see it in the first petal that we do, we have about 8 petals. You'll be able to see it eventually after we do it 8 times together. All right, so I'm going to start from the bottom this time. Remember, I started from the tip of the petal just to make sure I kept a clean line. And I led with the banana cream, followed with the marigold, and I'll show you what I mean by that. The marigold is right here. The banana cream is right here. I put the marigold at the very tip. I'm up on the chisel, and I just draw. And that's leading. I led with the banana cream, and now I'm just going to, in the shape of the petal, I'm going to empty my brush. And I'm just painting in the shape of the sunflower. There we go. We're just working on the back petals. I need some more banana cream. Three-fourths, 1/4. Right here. Okay. Starting on the chisel, working our way towards the center. There we go. And we're just going to brush it in there. So this is giving you all that dimension. What you can do is you could also add white to your brush, which will probably, I don't know, probably won't. I'm liking the dark and the light playing off of each other. I'll probably add a little bit of white to these up front petals, just because they are a little, which that's what we're on now. So I'm adding that, and I'm adding a little bit of white. Let's start on these front panels. Petals, Erica, petals. Oh man, I'm liking that. Okay, so we're doing the same thing, but I'm adding just a little. Okay, so we've got marigold, banana cream, white. Watch this. Okay. So it's the same thing. I just added a little bit of white to make these just a shade lighter than those background ones, because these are going to catch more light in real life, because they're up front and they're not being blocked by another petal. Okay, I really like the white. I feel like I need to go back and add white to these. I really like the white. It's not a huge transition. I think I am. Y'all, I think we're gonna go back. It didn't take but a minute to paint them. I think we're just gonna go back and add some white. I think it helps. That marigold's really, really dark, and I like it, but I think the white softens it without having to take it away. Yeah, we're doing this. We're doing it. Okay, so we're dipping the entire brush in banana cream, the one corner in marigold and the other corner in white, and we're just putting both of them, marigold on the outside, putting both of them on the brush, and we're adding it to the petal. And we're just lazy shading it on there, just letting the brush do all the work, letting it lay it down wherever it finds a spot for it. Just make sure you stay in the shape of the petal and you will be just fine. Oh yeah, I'm liking it a lot. That white, it's like I said, it's not a whole lot being added to the brush, but it is definitely helping things along. Okay, and just whenever you go back to your palette, make sure you load your brush the exact same way. And don't blend everything in together. You want everything to have its own little spots in the sun. It's going to make it look very watercolor. It's going to give it a nice watercolor look. So look, we're already on the last back petal. And we only backtracked a couple minutes. What I tell you, a sunflower paints up in minutes. You can really paint a sunflower real quick. Especially if you look at the steps and paint from the back to the front. Paint from the back to the front, then you're not having to paint around. The thing that slows you down most of the time is having to get your brush right in those little nooks and crannies to not mess up the part of the thing that you've already painted. You're like, oh, I really like what I did there. Let me hold my breath and not bump it with my brush. Okay, so there we go. There's our first front brush, and I'm loving this little streak of white. I'm loving that. I'm going to tone down the marigold just a little bit on these front petals because I really want them to be a shade lighter than the back petals. I wanted to have the marigold to separate the petals, but I don't necessarily want it to be a showcase color. I want the banana cream and the white to really take over on these full petals. Okay, so what I mean is I want it to be a divider. So I'm dividing this petal from this petal by making sure the marigold is outlining. It's on the outside. Okay, and then I empty my brush out, and there's some bare spots, so I'm going to go back, reload my brush, put a little bit of marigold, not much, and a good bit of white, and just paint in the shape of the petal. You don't want to overblend. You want everything to get its own little spot. You want it to be very streaky. This is one you want streaky. All right, 2 more petals, y'all. Remember, I can't see your comments because I don't have Wi-Fi out here for some reason, and it makes me sad. Makes me so sad. But that's okay. I can go back and I can carry on the conversation after we're done. If you have any questions, I will make sure that I link anything that needs to be linked. We have so many more wonderful ladies that are going to be traveling down this cross-country craftathon. It's almost like a road trip across the country. Today we have, I believe we have Kara, and then who is after? I think it's Roxana. It's no, Leanne. Leanne's after Kara. So that should be fun. And I believe we have all stuck with something that's sunflower or summer related. I believe everything you see today and tomorrow, and don't forget it does carry on until tomorrow. So from 3 to 6 tomorrow, you should have something to keep you occupied in those afternoon hours if you don't have plans already. There we go. 1 more petal, y'all. And then we're going to work on this center. And it's going to be such a, oh, it's going to be so pretty. It's going to be so pretty. As Raylan would say, Mama, she says, that's so pretty. And then when she wants to tell you it's beautiful, Mama, that's so beautiful. And if she wants to be real fancy, she goes, that's so beautiful. She loves to tell me. That peach door hanger is sitting behind me now. I finally got it sealed and glitterified. And I've got it showcased behind me because I just loved it so much. She came out while I was sealing it and she goes, Mommy, that's so beautiful. I was like, so are you, baby. So are you. If you ask her, do you know that you're a pretty girl? She goes, mm-hmm. I'm like, and modest, aren't you? I kind of want just one little swoop of marigold right there, but I don't want to. I really like how that white, let me add some more white. I'll just lead with it. There we go. If you really want one to show up more than the others, lead with it instead of going on the flat. That means go up on the chisel and make sure, well, you lead with the base color and you trail with that color you want to showcase. So really trail with it, not lead with it. All right, so here's my new water. Watch how, do you see all that paint that just came? Did you see the cloud of yellow? Look at that. It's getting all up in. Let's see, I got to put it down on the table. I'm going to swish it, and I go around. It's getting all up in there. Usually it doesn't take this long, but I had a lot of paint on my brush. All right, so for just a second, all I've got is some dry paint. Actually, here, that was just dry paint. See, it's all clean. I love it. Okay, we're going to use this brush again. Look at that. Perfectly clean brush. No paint hidden in there. I also have a solution that's in there too that's supposed to condition my brushes because I'm not the best brush mama. I'm going to be completely honest. Next color is Burnt Umber, and we're going to ghost it out. Okay, and if you've painted with me for a while, you know ghosting out means we're going to add white to it to get a different shade, not to thicken it up. White does not thicken it up. Although you get a thicker paint by adding white, you also change the color properties of it by doing that as well. So you're not thickening up that paint. You're changing that paint altogether. It's a completely new color. So it really drives me crazy when people say, I'm going to add some white to thicken it up. It's like, well, yeah, technically, okay. I was like, my brain won't let it know. Like, I have to take the keyboard away. I was like, stop it. Stop it. You know what they mean. Quit being ultra technical, Erika Ray. It drives me crazy. Don't take offense knowing that it drives me crazy. Okay, so we are just up on the chisel, going around town to give us a nice thick border so that we can really slap on here on the flat and base coat it. If I didn't do this, I can promise you $50 that I would have messed it up by trying to base coat it on the flat. along that edge. And I worked too hard on those petals, right? We worked too hard on them to accidentally mess it up because we weren't taking the time to do a nice border, a nice edge. Okay, here we go. How are y'all doing? Who likes sunflowers? Who's a big sunflower fan? Who, raise of hands, who's a big sunflower fan? And if you're not a sunflower fan, what is your favorite summer flower? Because I know some people who just can't, they think sunflowers are just they're so last year. And I'm like, sunflowers are like red and green for Christmas. They're classics. You can't outdo them. I feel like sunflowers are the trend that will never die for summer. Because, I mean, they're a natural trend. I mean, they pop up every summer and fall. It's a God-given trend, and I love it. I think and they're happy. I love anything that you can look at and instantly be happy. Sunflowers is one of them. Okay, so we got a nice little base coat on here. It's already half dry because I got my paint, my fan blowing. We still have 30 minutes, y'all. Look at all the work we did in 30 minutes. And remember, we did a lot of back and forth in the beginning, and we painted the petals twice, practically, because I didn't like the original, how dark they were turning out because I put too much marigold. Okay, so we are going to add a little bit. Okay, so we have dirty brush. We're going to add a little bit of white. I'm just going to start with a little bit. So that, it looks like a lot, but it's not even up the bristle. It's just on the very tip of the bristle. Okay, we're going to start on the chisel. Remember what I said about leading? I want that white to be showcased. So I'm leading with the brown. So I'm dipping in the brown, dipping in the white. I'm going to lead with the brown. Since this is a nice big area that's getting shaded, I can do this technique. On smaller areas, you don't want to necessarily do a lead in, okay? But on these big areas, like a sunflower, oh man, this is a godsend technique. Because remember, it gives you that nice clean border without getting too close to all that work you just put in. Okay? Leading in with the brown, trailing the white. Okay, there we go. Now let's do our shading. Now we won't have to get so close to the edge to get a nice effect. There we go. So I have brown on my brush, and I have a good bit of white on the corner. Okay? I had told myself we were going to do polka dots around the edge, but if I get a good, nice shade, this is really a highlight. If I get a good, nice highlight, I'll leave it alone. Because the highlight and the shading will do all the work for me. And remember, my goal is to not have to pull my paint pen out to force your eyes to see where things separate. I want the shading to do all that work. There's no shame in it, because believe me, there are some things that I have to do it no matter how much I shade it, especially if there's smaller elements. Say if this was a teeny tiny little sunflower, I'd probably have to do it, you know? All right, now I'm going one level in, and I'm gonna start filling this in. Okay? I'm just picking up the same colors, and I am just haphazardly painting in a circle, and my circle is getting smaller and smaller as I work myself towards the center. It's kind of like mowing the yard. You want to overlap your rows, but your rows are going in circles instead of a grid. So I'm picking up brown, I'm picking up white, and I am just working it in. I'm overlapping the row I did before. Okay. Now you could do a stipple as well. Now I've done a stipple before. I don't want to do a stipple today. I see one harsh. The bright lights in here really play with my eyes. So I want to make sure I have a nice showcase of this white and brown. So I'm just finding some holes where the white didn't get swished in. You want it to look like vanilla and chocolate ice cream or marshmallow fluff that got pulled into your chocolate ice cream. How about that? Nice little whips of marshmallow fluff are being trailed in there. Nice little mood tracks, right? Is that what that's called? Mood tracks? That might be a true Southern thing, like if you're Texas or Louisiana, because it's a Bluebell. I think that's a Bluebell flavor. And if you don't know Bluebell ice cream, I'm sorry. You're deprived. Bluebell is amazing. If you can have regular ice cream. I shouldn't have regular ice cream, but I do it anyways. All right, so this is where you get to play. You don't want to touch it too many times to where you make one consistent color going all the way across and then there's no shading at all. I think we're done. I like it. What do y'all think? All right, so cleaning my brush out. All right, y'all, I think we're done. We're done. Look at that. We still have 30 minutes. That's how fast we painted that. I should have prepared the stencil. I really thought we were going to take the whole hour. Okay, I'm going to clean up this right here just a little bit since we have the time. I'm going to put this, and I'm going to grab some Marigold. Hold on, let me test that out. The way I'm fixing it is kind of hazy. I'm just leading in on the very chisel and not using a lot of pressure. Here we go. It was kind of Morse code, if you know what I mean. There was some Morse code going on there. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Okay, I truly believe we're done. I'm a little impressed with myself. Okay, let's go, let's exit full table. How are y'all doing? Whoop. There we go. Okay, so here's the one I was telling you about. Not a stitch, a paint pen or liner brush. I'm so proud of myself. I was like, ooh, that's the first time I've ever painted something live, and I didn't need to do that. And this, now we can say 2 times. Okay, so I know it happened, but I'm like, oh no, I hope it doesn't happen again. So my phone got overheated because of the lights and because of how hot it is in here. It's not really that hot, but I'm sure the phone is close to the light as it was. That's what did it in. So I had to hold the phone like right in front of the fan. My poor phone, no. Okay, so as this was, I'm trying to show y'all the whole thing because the sunflower is kind of awkward to hold because it technically goes like this, but you can't see that whole thing right there. Right there. See? Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to kick y'all off. My phone got overheated. I'm not a very nice phone mama either, huh? Hey, Jamie. How are you? So we just painted this one live. I will stitch them together for the Craftathon and put them in the Craftathon, whatchamacallit? What is that thing called? Group. The Cross Country Creatives group. If you're not following Cross Country Creatives, that is what we're doing today. That is today's Craftathon. And today I painted my sunflower. There's so many different ways that you can paint a sunflower, and this is my favorite way. Just lazy painting, letting all the paint do all the talking, not having to do a stitch, a paint pen, Look how beautiful and shaded it is. Now you can take it a step further, add some paint pen, add some funkiness, and it'll just be a completely different sunflower. Hey, Brittany, how are you? And Sandy, and I know I shared. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing. Someone asked if this is one of the Template Club designs. This is not. This is actually an oldie but goodie. This one's from last year. So it is in the shop. And after the live, I'll link all of the credentials for it, like the template, the JPEG, or the blank. So if you have a laser cutter or you like to size things yourself, you're going to want the JPEG. If you like easy, just print and go, you don't care what the size of it is, you want the printable template. It is 22 inches on its longest point. That is what my printable templates are set to. And then if you want the wooden blank, you can order the wooden blank from the shop as well. I love this so much. I just bought the template this week. Maria, I cannot wait to see Maria's. Maria likes to funky things up. She never keeps the same colors, but it's a sunflower. And a sunflower can be painted anyway. I did pull some teal, some peacock teal. I was going to put some teal in here, but I think I'm going to do the monogram in this color. I think I'm going to put my friend's monogram in it. So, I think that's what it turned out so cute. Thank you, Melissa. I love it. I love it. How are y'all? Okay, so we got about 15 more minutes, so we can do a rapid fire Q&A if you want. Here, did y'all catch this? Did y'all catch this one this past week? I just bought it to Marie, cracking me up. How do you join your template club? Okay, so for Rachel, the template club will be linked. Okay, so I have the Paint Studio and the template club. A lot of people call Paint Studio template club, and it's not. Paint Studio is a community of handmade makers, usually sign makers or door hanger artists, and we do business on a budget together. That is what we do. I teach everybody how I run my business, and I run my business on a budget. Yes, I did buy a laser. That is probably, well, and then I bought the shed. I guess the laser was still more expensive. Those were big purchases, but because I do business on a budget, I was able to justify the big purchases that were able to grow my business. So that's what Paint Studio is. And in the meantime, we do a few paint parties together as well, because we never get time to paint for ourselves, right? So it is always nice to have that little bit of, hey, I can paint this for work, for mock-ups. It's fun. You get 3 designs with Paint Studio as well. So you get 3 designs for Paint Studio, a brainstorm session, and what I call a maker mover. It's a tip or a trick that I use in my business to keep my business on a budget. It's usually a free app or something that's nominal in price, like a couple dollars a month, or it's something that I do just in general, so it's free already, that saves me money or saves me time, which time is money. So I like to share that with my friends. And we're all peers. I'm not a mentor, I'm not a coach, nothing like that. I am someone who's been doing it for a while and has found little tips and tricks of doing things on a budget so that you can spend your money where you need to when you can't really squeeze a penny, a dollar out of a penny, right? Like with your laser, or with your shed, or with your studio, or with putting a down payment on a brick and mortar, stuff like that. Template Club, which is what I call Template Tribe. Template Tribe is where you get all of 1 month's designs in one email on the first of the month, every month. And that is, it'll be linked here. That'll be Erika's Template Tribe. It's both of them are $30 a month, just because that's easy for me to remember. I don't even worry about that. Both of them are $30 a month. You get every design that I'm going to release as a door hanger design in PNG without my logo. So you can use it for advertising for paint parties, or you can turn it into a cute shirt design. You get PNG, JPEG, so you can size your own template, or you can use it for a cutting machine, or the printable template. And then there's always freebies in there. Usually you get 20 to 25 designs, but there's always extras. There's always extras. So you're getting a lot more for $30 than if you were buying things like cherry pick and everything each month. You forgot you have a 24/7 in the... You forgot we have you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dana, well, I guess that's a perk, huh, Dana? They have me 24/7 in the group. She's talking about Paint Studio. 24/7. Now, I am an old lady, and I go to bed, like, at 9 o'clock. So, but I get up at 4. Not anymore. I get up at 5 now. But I used to get up at 4. And so I'll message you back. And you get me. I message you. So I do a lot of one-on-one calls with my people. I do a lot of direct messaging with my people. Like I said, it's just little old me. I keep it real humble, real sweet, to the point. It's super simple. I love painting. Maria loves Paint Studio. I love Maria. Graham shares her with Oak. Dana loves to call Graham out. Graham is my husband, and yes, Graham does share me. In fact, while it's been so hot out here, I'm forcing myself to film in here today because I've missed my studio. And the temperature wasn't too bad. It's only 80 degrees outside. But it's breezy. So it's a breezy 80 degrees. That's not 80 degrees. But inside the studio, it's a teensy bit hotter. But I have fans and ACs and all the things. So we're good. I'm not going to pass out. We're good. I might glisten a little bit like that. But I'll be good. Yes, and Graham does share me. So lately, I've been filming inside the house, which is not my favorite thing to do. But Graham shares me with the girls in the studio. Yes, we have a blast in there. And Template Tribe, there's no group that goes with it. But if you notice, I paint every Tuesday night. Like this right here was this month, one of this month's Template Tribe designs. And so all the templates that you see released on Template to Wednesday, they're Template Tribe designs, but they got them on the 1st of the month. So today is the 15th, right? So I painted this Tuesday. I think that was what, the 11th? I painted this on the 11th. Guess what? They had it on the 1st. They could have painted it on the 1st. This week's, I'm so excited about this Template to Wednesday's designs that are coming out because I know which one we're painting live. I can already predict which one you will pick. Because y'all know I let you vote, and I cut it right before we paint. I cut it a couple hours right before we paint, and I think I know which one, and I'm so excited because I'm ready. I'm ready for this color scheme. I'm ready for this holiday. I am ready for all the things that come with it. So I am so excited about this this Tuesday. But they've had it since the 1st. So this Tuesday that's coming up is what, the 19th? 18th, 19th? Yeah. They've already had it since the 1st. So that's nice. And they've had the PNG. And they've had the JPEG. And they've had the, you know, they just get all the things. They get all the things. So, all right. All right, so if you didn't catch it, this is what we painted live today. You can catch it on the replay. It would be the video before this because my phone did shut down. And there's a possibility that I could do it again. But we do have Kara from Kinsley's Creative Palettes. Takes me a minute to say that because I want to invert all those words. Kara from Kinsley's Creative Palette. She should be getting ready to go live. And if you don't want to have to hop from page to page to page to page, you can just hop on over to Cross Country Creatives and just watch the lives over there. We are sharing them over there to where they're all in one big catalog for you. And so all you have to do is when one live ends, you exit the live, go to the top of the page, refresh, and usually if it's past the top of the hour, the next live should have already started. I knew it was going to happen. So let me go ahead and, all right, I'm going to go ahead and sign off because my phone is giving me hints that it's going to overheat again. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. If you'd like the printable template, the JPEG, or the one blank, it will be listed in the description and the comments after this live is done. If you want to join Erika's Template Tribe or Paint Studio, that will be listed as well. And I will see you next Tuesday for the next Template to Wednesday releases and our paint party. I'll see you later.